Right, but I want to talk about Kolo Muani to Manchester United. You've all seen kind of the reports from David Ornstein about his potential move to Manchester United. I'm going to be talking about Casemiro as well, but mainly about Kolo Muani now. There's been a lot of reports. It was coming in from Laurie Whitwell as well. It said Randall Kolo Muani is one of the two final names with the list of strikers in the summer of 2023, along with Rasmus Hojlund. His versatility as an all-round forward is appealing to Manchester United. Manchester United, Tottenham and Juventus are exploring a deal to sign Randall Kolo Muani on loan from PSG. All three clubs have expressed interest and are currently viewed as top contenders. Manchester United, among others, have considered Muani. PSG's preference is a permanent exit. Loan will be the most likely formula with an obligation in the French if the French champions have their way. Listen, Kolo Muani, I don't think he's the greatest player, but for a 6-month loan, Rashford's going to go. You're looking at Xerxes potentially wanting to leave. Could you see a way in which those two players do leave? You get Rashford, maybe a potential swap deal for Kolo Muani. He's 26. He was on great form when he signed for PSG. He signed for a lot of money. I think he is a decent player. There's no doubt about that. But for a 6-month loan, why not? He'll probably give us a bit more than Rashford has. Rashford has expressed he doesn't want to be at the club anymore. So ultimately, getting rid of Rashford and bringing in Muani would seem like it makes sense. I mean, United have been linked with Muani before. He was someone they were going to sign in the summer of 2023. They're obviously still interested in him. His move to PSG didn't quite work out. I think there is certainly a player in there, someone who Manchester United definitely can sign. I think he's a very, very versatile player. He can play in the inside forward. And on a 6-month loan deal, it isn't kind of the worst deal. Manchester United need players in this window, and the most likely way in which Manchester United can do it is through loan deal. So ultimately, if that is bringing in Kolo Muani on a loan deal, why shouldn't Manchester United go ahead and do it? He's been really, it's him, Olmo. There's not really been many attackers we've been linked to. As I said, we're now a week into the window, or 7 days in. We are kind of losing time in the window, and we need to act quick. But ultimately, it makes sense. Rashford leaves, and you bring in Kolo Muani. As I said, it depends on PSG's preference. Obviously, they want a permanent exit. United probably do want a loan. I don't think he's a player we should be signing on a permanent basis. And it certainly will be very interesting to see what does happen with Muani. As I said, he is a talented player, and I think he does work hard. He would be an interesting prospect. As I said, there certainly is a player in there in Kolo Muani. I think he can work out at Manchester United. It would be a risk to sign any player, especially someone on his calibre. He hasn't really done too well at PSG. He did, I mean, you all probably remember that chance he had to score in the World Cup final. We're not basing him on that, but listen, United need a forward. We're crying out for someone who's versatile. He can play in the 9, could play in the 2 inside forwards. Would be on a loan deal, so you don't even have to sign him permanently. Obviously, if Manchester United get their way in this deal, it would be a loan with an obligation to buy, and United won't buy him. I mean, he could do well at Manchester United. If they don't work out at one club, they can definitely work out another club. So you would have to give the deal time. I think there certainly is a player there in Kolo Muani, someone who can develop, someone who's going to be a very, very talented player. He is 26, entering the prime years. I mean, for a short-term deal, I wouldn't mind opposing it. I think his strengths, he can score goals. I mean, his goal-scoring record is absolutely prolific. At Eintracht Frankfurt before he did join PSG. He's someone who's very good at holding up the ball. He's got pace in behind. He's very, very quick. Again, but would Manchester United take that risk? Let me know your thoughts. Personally, I think for a 6-month loan deal, you can't really do wrong. Other clubs are interested in him, so he certainly is a decent player. What was it? Tottenham and Juventus are interested in signing him. He's 26. He might be a decent player. I would personally take the risk in signing him. If it doesn't work out, obviously you send him back. And ultimately you look at bigger or better players in the summer window. But I'd be looking at Muani as an option. Certainly, as I said, we've got limited funds. The transfer window is running out. We've barely been linked to any players. And if Kolo Muani is one of them, I certainly wouldn't mind bringing him into the team. I think he does have some very, very good prospects. He's got some very, very good talent. And you look at what United need to hold up the ball. we need someone in that front line. He's got more experience than Rasmus Højlund, and he can definitely play in behind. United are in need of a forward. As I said, Højlund hasn't really cut it. We played Xerxes in there, hasn't really done enough, and just hasn't looked good enough. I think Højlund is a good player, but he just doesn't look good in that position. And Rashford, listen, he doesn't really have a future at Manchester United anymore, so we do need someone out there. I'm not saying that Kolo Muani is going to be the perfect and it's going to be the long-term replacement. We might go and sign someone else, or we should go sign someone else anyway, like a Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen in the summer. But for now, budgets are low. United in desperate need of signing someone. I would go all out for Kolo Muani. I think he is a very, very good player. Get him in. As I said, with these loan deals in January, so if it doesn't work out, they go back. I remember we did it with, well, Amrabat was a season-long loan. Sabitzer, I believe, was a 6-month loan from Leipzig or Bayern Munich, one of the two, I can't remember. Or even Bayern, I don't even know. Maybe Dortmund, but I remember he was someone who was on the table. Like, there is players out there United can go and sign on a loan, and if it doesn't work out, we're even talking about with the left back situation or the left wing back situation with Alvaro Fernandez, just loan him out and then bring him back. So there is definitely opportunities there for Manchester United to bring in players, whether that be in the January on loans or permanent. I mean, it's very difficult to do a permanent deal in January. I know we did Bruno Fernandes deal in January, but it's very, very difficult because limited funds, especially in the situation Manchester United are in. Loan deals are perfect. We've had quite a few before in January, and yeah, I think this would seem like the most sense right now where Manchester United are currently in. But that's been the latest on Kolo Muani and his potential move to Manchester United. It was coming in from David Ornstein, Ben Jacobs and Laurie Whitwell. So certainly some very, very credible people there talking about his potential move to Manchester United. But would you want it to happen? 2, if he does do well, would you want to keep him on a permanent? I still don't think he is quite good enough. There are obviously issues with signing him, who do we put in return, and ultimately all that stuff. But thank you for watching.